26,619 people die from intentional gun violence every year. Stop the gun violence!
We are at Roy Wilkins Park for the Art as Catalyst for Change Heartbeat Festival 2018. 6 schools from Queens, Jamaica Queens, the Rockaways, and Queensbridge are all participating in this art festival. Also, we're partnering with several arts organizations, Black Spectrum Theater, Museum of the Moving Image, and Thrive Collective. So today, the kids are out here experiencing all different types of art mediums, murals, hip hop, dance, video game, digital media. Everyone's having a great time. We're excited to be here.
This celebration is all made possible by Art, a Catalyst for Change, City Council, and we really appreciate their support to help us do game design classes in our after-school partner schools.
Art as Catalyst for Change is part of a larger anti-gun violence initiative within the city that specifically targets 10 communities in the 5 boroughs that have the highest rates of gun violence.
Red wristbands, you can make your way to the murals right now. Martin Luther King.
We have sections with figures, historical and current, that have been victimized by gun violence. We're using art to help give the kids tools, to equip them and empower them to have alternatives to gun violence. Each group transitioned to an area where they would spend 20 minutes doing a particular activity, and then every 20 minutes, each group cycles clockwise to the next activity.
Let's have the first row come up, and then the second row. After they're done, you'll come in, all right? So this will be the first row.
The program is to be able to give young people the opportunity to see that art can be a catalyst for change, and gun violence or gang violence and those kinds of things are not necessary in order to have a full and a rich life and to have some really exciting experiences.
What do you guys see on your screen now? What does it look like?
Like a diagram.
It looks like a grid, right?
The Museum of the Moving Image are doing video game demos, creating video game characters, and doing digital media and film. Then we have Young Life doing hip-hop, creative writing, poetry, performance, improvisation. We have Black Spectrum Theater, and they're doing improvisational games with the kids. And then Thrive Collective, we're doing murals, graffiti, painting, and things of that nature.
We don't come in and just give them a mural to do. It's based off of all their ideas. So in relation to gun violence, this year is more like self-esteem and kind of building yourself.
The theory is that kids who are constructively engaged in creative activities develop a love for their community, a sense of hope and optimism, and a recognition that they can create alternatives to some of the violence that they see around them.
Kudos to the New York City Council. It's a beautiful thing that we have council people like Laurie Cumbo who had the foresight to make something like this possible. Laurie Cumbo came from the arts. She is an artist herself, and so to have somebody who can speak from a real experience from the arts, it's not only beautiful, but it's a thing whose time has come. And we hope that it continues on and on.
Yes. Okay, it sounds like it's my cue to go. So welcome everyone to the Museum of the Moving Images online space, Moving Image Studio. We are streaming live from Zoom to YouTube to host the Heartbeat Online Festival today, celebrating youth arts in Queens with youth across our borough and our partners Black Spectrum Theater and the Thrive Collective. This program is made possible by the Art, a Catalyst for Change program that makes art education available to youth in our city free of charge to all participants. We also want to thank Councilmember Jimmy Van Bramer for supporting us in making this program a reality, as well as Speaker Corey Johnson, Council Speaker Adrienne Adams, Majority Leader Laurie Cumbo, and to our newly elected Queensborough President, Donovan Richards. This summer at the Museum of the Moving Image, we are offering filmmaking and game design camp 100% online, as are most things these days, and we'll be posting free media making tutorials and events all summer long right here on our YouTube channel, Moving Image Studio. We have an amazing lineup for you today, but first I'd like to introduce my co-host, Erik.
Hi everybody, my name is Erik. I was a senior at Newcomers High School. Now I've been working in the Museum of the Moving Image, leading some team events and co-hosting some events too. Now I would like to introduce you to our next hosts from the Thrive Collective, Randy Jr., Erik, and Randy. Sit back and enjoy the show. Thanks.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, everyone.
What's up, guys?
Welcome to the 2020 Art as Catalyst for Change
HeART Online Festival.
We are your hosts for today. Hey, what's up? My name is Randy Mason. I am the Studio Arts Director at Thrive Collective. I'm also a hip hop artist. I love hip hop because hip hop is fun. Hip hop is all about community and creativity.
Yo, what's up? My name is Randy. I am a 10th grader and I'm also a beat maker. The reason I like making beats is because music is my favorite way of communication.
Hi, I'm Ari. I'm an 8th grader. I'm an artist and I love to paint because it's a good way to express myself.
We're here because we believe in the power of art to heal and overcome violence of all kinds.
Not only gun violence, but also the violence of a global pandemic.
And certainly the violence caused by systematic racism.
Thanks again for joining us. Our theme today is High Five.
High five, ready to participate in the arts for change.
High five, representing togetherness and community like only a high five can. Wait, who wrote this?
Yeah, so High Five. 5 presenters, 5 activities, 5 minutes each, all based on the 5 elements of hip hop, which are
MCing, also known as rapping,
graffiti,
DJing,
breaking,
and knowledge.
The 5 elements of hip hop are not only fundamental to hip hop music and culture, but they also represent 5 fundamental human needs that we all have. MCing or rapping is more than just music. It's about having a voice. It's about being heard and telling your story. Also, it's about speaking up for those who are in need. Everybody has a voice and everyone deserves to be heard. Graffiti, it's more than just tagging. Graffiti is about having a name, and a name represents identity and existence. A name is the first thing that we get when we're born. Everybody has a name and everyone deserves to be seen and recognized. Breaking or breakdancing is more than dance. It's about movement, figurative movement and physical movement. And movement represents momentum and forward progress. A movement helps us to break free from limitations caused by things like poverty and violence. Everyone has a movement and deserves to move freely. DJing is not only about parties. DJing is about remixing technology to create communities of peace, unity, and fun. Essentially, DJs manipulate technology to create new and fresh spaces, and everybody deserves to belong to a community that they help shape, and to be able to have access to technologies and the opportunity to remix that technology to make something new and innovative. Lastly, the element of knowledge. Knowledge isn't only about having the answers. Knowledge is about awareness and action. And we all deserve access to accurate information, and we all deserve to be both a student and a teacher, because learning isn't limited to the classroom and teaching isn't reserved for adults. We can all learn from each other. And with that said, I'm inviting you, yes, you, to participate in 5 really fun activities facilitated by 5 amazing teaching artists. But first,
it's time for a poll.
Which word best describes how art can overcome violence? The 5 words with the highest percentage will be the words interpreted in each activity.
Okay, everyone. We are going to be posting a poll right here that you can participate in on Zoom. Okay, the poll results are coming in. You have less than a minute to answer the question. Okay, I am ending the poll in about 10 seconds if you want to get your answers in. Okay, so I'm ending the poll right now. It looks like the #1 word that we've chosen is inspires. I love that. Art can inspire you to overcome violence.
Now that we have the 5 words that you guys chose, it's time to start our first activity. Our first teaching artist is a rapper, who you might recognize, but not because he's famous, because he's hosting the event. Yep, you guessed it, Randy Mason from Thrive Collective.
Hey everybody, what's up? As you just heard, my name is Randy Mason, but you could call me Ran, right? So everybody say, what up, Ran? I heard that. All right, cool. Now on the count of 3, I want y'all to say your name. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Y'all got some really cool names. I like that. So welcome to the Freestyle 5 activity. It's going to be a lot of fun. So what is a freestyle? Well, the definition of a freestyle in the context of hip hop is a rap or a verse that was not previously written, that was not rehearsed, but that is spontaneous and it just happens right on the spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 5 words that you guys all chose just now in the poll, and I'm going to try to put them into a freestyle rhyme. So actually I have no idea what I'm about to say. That's why it's a freestyle. And how fitting in this context that we're in with Zoom calls and remote learning, where there are a lot of unknowns, and we have an opportunity to freestyle a lot these days and to pivot and to be resourceful. So I'm going to play a beat and I'm going to kick a freestyle, and check it out. If you hear me use one of the words that were on the poll, I want you to put a finger in the air. Okay. And then the second word, third, fourth, and fifth. And once we have all 5, we'll know that we accomplished our mission and the freestyle was a success. All right. So here we go. And now freestyling is a lot of fun, and I want to encourage you guys to do that. You can freestyle wherever you are, at home, on the bus, or at school. You can look around and just see what's in your environment. You might say that's the Cannibal Stello, and that rhymes with Abuelo, right? And when I see my friends, I say hello. Hey, yo, check it out. My name is Randy Mason. Welcome to the Heartbeat Online, where everybody comes through to shine bright like a star in the sky. You and I representing on the fly, improv, spontaneous, using words to uplift higher. Words that y'all chose, like the word inspires. I feel inspired by everything that transpires. Like right now, I'm feeling hot like fire. Emojis in the comment section, hope they post it. I keep it going, and I know it's just floating like a boat on the sea. I'll be the MC, representing Bronx Queens from NYC. Another word that we chose was the word heal. And I think art does that well. It does reveal the wounds on our heart and sees how we feel. And then it helps us to get better and move on forward with 4 words like I love you, true. Here we go, this freestyle's for you and yours, cause I care. That's another word that was in there. Freestyling means coming unprepared. Get prepared to share something that comes from the air, like a bird or a butterfly. And you just see it and you improvise. Realize we came to thrive. And use another word, courage, because freestyling does nourish. And it gives us courage to proceed. And we don't even really need the proceeds. This is free, no fee when I freestyle for y'all. I'ma keep it going, rocking these here bars. And what's the other word? Okay, I think it's hope. And this here is just no joke, because art is really a catalyst for change. When I was young, I used to rhyme on the train. I could have got in a lot of trouble with the things that I was doing, but fortunately in hip hop, I was fluent. In hip hop, even when you stutter, it's all right, cause we all sisters and brothers. We keep it going, no shame and no guilt. That's the way this whole thing here is built. It's a community of unity, peace, and fun. I think I said all 5 words, I guess I'm done. But yo, about 50 seconds left on the 5-minute. Shout out to Museum of the Moving Image, Thrive Collective, Black Spectrum Theater, Carl Clay, representing for the kids all day. Laurie Cumbo, exciting like a drum roll, cause art is a catalyst. And that's it. Yes, that's the Freestyle 5. Live for you and yours here. And yeah, thank you very much. I hope your 5 fingers are in the air. My name is Randy Mason. Listen, I want to encourage you to use your voice to tell your story, to sing your song, to kick your raps, to speak up for those who are in need, and practice freestyling today. After this is over, I want you to look around and find items in your house or wherever you are and try to find words that rhyme with them, because it's good for your health, our health. My name is Randy Mason, and I'm headed back to the Museum of the Moving Image. See y'all later.
Wow, that really inspired me to freestyle. Maybe I should introduce the next artist in a rap. What do you think? Yeah? Okay. I have a name. That's the next activity. And the artist is from Projectivity. Oh, what? And his name is Christian Penn. And he's about to teach us how to tag with his pen. What? What?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for that intro. Glad to be here. Again, my name is Christian Penn. I'm from Projectivity, and I'm gonna show you guys a little quick intro on graffiti. I'm a graffiti artist myself. I do workshops all over New York City teaching people how to draw. So my biggest thing is getting you all to understand that, you know, your name is important. That defines who you are. And in graffiti, we like to call it a tag. And that tag doesn't need to be your actual name. It could be, you know, a nickname that you have. It could be a unique spelling of your name. It could be a number of different things. It could just be a group of letters, you know. And so what my goal to do is today is to show you a really, really quick tip to basically get you started drawing graffiti. So real quick, I'm gonna share my screen with you all. And I have my iPad set up with a program called Procreate. And yeah, so this is right here is a really famous spot in New York City that used to be around. It was called 5 Points. Unfortunately, they tore it down a few years ago. But as you can see, there's a whole bunch of different styles of names and graffitis. They all say different, you know, funny words. But if you look, they're all in different colors, and it's almost like they're all different handwritings. And each different handwriting is really showing that person's unique identity. So it's not just about the name or the letters you use, but it's really about how you draw it. So real quick, let's just get into it. You guys ready? You can follow along if you want, if you have a pencil or paper, or you can just sort of watch me. And the technique is actually pretty easy. So we're gonna start with one of the words that you all chose, and we're gonna go with inspire. All right, so what that would start with is really just you taking your piece of paper and starting with just writing in your normal handwriting the word. Then you can get kind of funky, you can get a little bit different if you like. So, you know, I'm just gonna start with basic capital letters, the word inspire. Now, graffiti's great because it doesn't matter if you have bad handwriting, you can write however you want. You can make some letters a lot bigger than others. You can do a whole bunch of things. Now I'm just gonna kind of breeze through this. So I apologize for moving a little quickly. I just want you guys to have, you know, a quick breakdown, something you can practice at home. So we start with our word, right? It could be your name, it could be a word, it could be a couple letters that you think sound cool together, it could be a comic book character, whatever. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to outline that letter. And this is gonna be something called the bar form. You could do bars that look like this, or you could do bubbles that look more like this. In my case, I'm gonna do bars. And what we do is we're gonna draw a bar around every single line that makes up each letter. So in this case, we're just gonna draw a bar around each line. And it's gonna look a little bit messy at first. Again, I'm gonna kind of breeze through this, but if you see, I'm just drawing each line of each letter, but I'm just going around both sides of it. So we're basically putting a bar around each line of each letter. All right, and when a letter curves, like the P or S, we just stay on one side of it, draw our bar, and go to the outside of it. I know this is looking really messy. Just give me a minute. I promise it's gonna look cool. Now again, we're just staying on the outsides of these things. Again, if you wanted to do bubbles, you could, instead of drawing bars around everything, you could have drawn bubbles. Now, I know it looks kind of messy, it looks a little bit sloppy. All we have to do next is we want to go back and we want to erase the first set of lines. The first place where we drew our name in regular handwriting, we're going to go back and erase all of those, okay? So to fast forward, I'm just going to click it off, and now we have a very, very rough outline. And what we need to do next is we need to clean up the inside of all of those letters. So in this case, I have my eraser tool. If you were all practicing with pencils, you would go back and you would now, after erasing the first letter you did, you're going to erase all of the insides of each layer. So we're going to get rid of all those lines where the bars start to overlap. And then our shapes are going to become a lot nicer. And we can decide how we want, you know, if we want the S to be in front of the P or the N, we decide what piece of each letter we're going to delete. But in this case, we're basically just erasing all of the extra lines that are falling inside of the letters. And that's going to make our image a lot cleaner in 1 second. So just bear with me. And if you see, all I'm doing is I'm erasing all of the sections inside of each bar. There, it looks a little bit cleaner. Now, if you want to erase a few more sections, it'll almost look like the letters are touching each other and kind of blending into each other, where you don't really know when one stops or when one ends. And that's kind of a cool, unique style of graffiti. Every person can take the same word, or if you happen to have the same name as somebody else, you can make it different. So that's a very, very, very quick way to draw your name. And then one last step that you can do to make it look a little bit more unique is you can take another color and just draw a quick outline around the entire piece, not each letter, but the entire piece as a whole. Again, I'm doing this super quick. Normally you would spend a lot more time on a graffiti piece, but it starts with just trying to do things like this. And then we would go in and color. We would color in that background layer. And now we have something like that. So I know that was quick. I know this is a little bit messy. It takes a lot of time to make it look perfect, but that is a really, really simple tool. My organization, we actually host online free graffiti tutorials every other week. So we'll make sure to send that info out if anybody wants to participate in it. But I encourage you all to figure out a tag that, you know, represents really who you are. And again, it doesn't have to be your name. It could be a trait or a nickname that you like, or just some word that really represents who you are. And you can make that your tag. All right, so thank you all for tuning in. Again, my name's Christian from Projectivity, and back to you, hosts.
That was great, Christian. Thank you. Speaking of names, I think it's important that we take a moment to remember those who were affected by coronavirus, gun violence, and racism. George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor. Now, we take a moment of silence.
In times like these, we are especially grateful for those who use technology to bring people together. This next activity is exactly that. Here is the I Am the Future activity by the Museum of the Moving Image.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Umber, and I am an educator and media artist from the Museum of the Moving Image. Here's a video on some of the stuff that we've been up to. The Museum of Moving Image uses technology in innovative ways. It is the first museum in the world to present video game design and new media as an art form. For nearly 30 years, we have used the moving image, the most resilient and relatable art form of our time, to stimulate the imaginations of all learners. Currently, we are working through a virtual classroom called @Moving Image Studio, holding free live events, tutorials, and classes. MoMI education is dedicated to advancing the use of the moving image as a cultural resource for all through equitable access to creative technologies. We have an incredible staff of teaching artists from various backgrounds, writers, visual artists, and filmmakers, all to promote and empower others with media making tools such as animation, claymation, rotoscoping, filmmaking, video art, and game design.
Congratulations to all the students who have participated in our virtual programs and classroom. Thank you to our dedicated team of teaching artists, including visual artist and game designer, Ahmed Al-Shir. We worked together in an awesome game design class with PS 111Q.
Hi, how are you everybody? Kelly is a character created by a wonderful student, Nehemiah Lolly. In the chat, there is a link to Blaze's game after the event. Our game design class was designed to give kids a bigger role in creating their own games. We worked together to explore their vision and storytelling skills. So, Nehemiah, in his own words, said, Kelly works for the government and was sent on a mission. He has to stop robbery while he is chasing the criminals. He realized that they dropped some of the money. Now let's return to Umber.
Thank you, Ahmed. Let's move on to an activity with real live green screening. It is available and possible for you on your very own Zoom interface. Green screen, or chroma key, is a tool to expand lived experience using technology to expand your imagination. With everyday materials, you can activate your own stories on the screen and even with the words you voted for today. Speaking of inspiration, follow along with me, but if you can't, you can join our green screen tutorial and challenges on our other platforms at Moving Image Studio. So now we're back at the Zoom interface. We will go to video settings right over here and click this little arrow and choose virtual background. For those who have an updated device, you are able to input any virtual background automatically. However, we don't want to forget those with older models of a laptop, which I am on currently. This is an opportunity. We can play with manual settings and even create your own green screen objects to tell your stories. Click on the bottom left side of the window on I have a green screen, which I have clicked right here. Now you can be wherever you need to be for your media art. Your body can adjust to the screen. You can also add your own images and videos of your choice, your own creations when pressing on this button right over here, this plus sign, you click on it. I have added a creation of my own right over here. This is an image of a collage that I made. Finally, you don't necessarily need a professional green screen, but maybe just a single colored object. With the object, it is best to avoid white. This folder will do. Also, good lighting is very important so the camera can pick up the color you want to transform. So you look over here, it says manually pick the color of the background if the color detected color is not accurate. So you just click this little button over here and now you move it towards the blue folder. Awesome. Let's be hopeful for the future. More media making tutorials can be found from MoMI through the MoMI's at Moving Image Studio YouTube channel. Share your creations with us at studio.movingimage.us. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, that was amazing. If you have any questions or concerns, make sure to use the chat box. I hope you're ready to dance. Our next activity is called I Have a Movement by Flexx from Everybody Dance Now.
What's everybody? My name sorry. Hello? I do not know what that is happening. Can you guys hear me? All right, good. Hello, everybody. My name is Flexx with 2 X's, and I am a dance teacher and choreographer from Everybody Dance Now. It is so great to be here with you guys and to be able to work with you and show you a little bit of what it is that I like to do. So I am a dancer. What does that mean? That means that I am someone that uses my movement in order to express myself and have conversations with the audience that I am presenting to. Dance is an amazing activity that really helps you to focus your mind and your body and to be able to use both of those in coordination to accomplish really
Flexx, I think your sound cut out.
Can you guys hear me again?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the great things that I like to do within my dance is I like to give people emotions to feel and actions to think about through all of the different stuff that I do. Today, we are going to take some of the words that one of the words actually that you guys have used that I really thought could really give you guys an understanding of dance. So the word that we are going to use today is the most voted word, which is inspires. And the reason why I want to use inspires is because that is what happens in dance every day. People are inspired to do a bunch of different things, inspired to take action on situations, and inspired to help out other people through giving their dance and their performance in order, as I said before, to give emotion and to be able to have people think on actions. So today we are going to go over some moves that can help inspire you to be a better person, a better dancer, and just an overall better anything that it is that you want to be. I don't think dance is just used strictly for performance and entertainment. I think dance can really also help with your health. I think dance can really also help with your health and other things as well. So I'm going to get some music started and we are going to show off some moves that are really going to give you some inspiration to not only keep moving, but to also be able to give yourself that energy to do other things as well. All right, give me one moment. I'll make sure that I get my music started and then we'll be starting. Real nice. Everybody say okay right here. It's called a Are you ready? And we're going to go here. And we're going to drop down here. And we're going to come back here. Then we're going to drop down here. Down, here, down. All right? Now we're going to take our legs and we're going to start moving them around. So we're going to take our legs and move them in. Out, back, out, back, again, out, back, out, back. All together, we got 8 moves. Let's get over them. Ready? We go. Here, down, down, up, out, back, out, back, out, back, out, back. Yeah. One more time, let's do that. We're here, starting at the top. We're going to go down, ready? We go down, up, down, up, and out, back, out, back, out, back, out, back. All right, it looks like we're something really cool to do now. Is we're going to take our upper body and our lower body, and we're going to move them in unison. The reason why this is important is because it helps you understand that you can do at the same time that you do one part of your body. Right? So now we're going to step out with our right side, to bring it in, step out with our left side, bring it in. Right, left, out, in, up, in. All right? So now, let's bring it all together. We're here. Make sure this is nice and strong, nice sturdy, right? So down, down, up, out, back, out, back, out, back, out, back. Right side, out, in, out, in. Okay? Now, we're going to jump, jump, and this is a little bit difficult for you guys. We're going to try and break it down so that we can get the move together, okay? So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to jump up, right? You're going up, but you're going to twist as you're going up. Ready? So we're going here, right? So one more time. We're going up, but we're going to twist as we go up. 2 things at once. Ready? So we're going up, twist, down. Ooh, you guys, get it? Maybe not now, but practice is important. It can help you continue moving, inspire you to do things that you could not do before. So let's try it one more time. Ready? We're going to go up and twist and come on. All right? Let's take it from the top, all the way from the top. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, up, out, back, out, back, out, back, out, back, out, back. Now we're going to turn. Ready? Turn. There we go. I got it? Okay, we're going to do this time, but we're going to try it again. One last time, okay? All right, let's do it. We're going to go, ready? Here. Make sure it's nice and strong, okay? Ready? And we're going to go down, up, out, back, out, back, out, back, out, back. Then we're going to step out, in, out, in. Now we're going to try the really hard move. Ready? Go and spin. One more time, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I really enjoyed all the time that we had together. This was great. Remember, dance can do a bunch of different things. It can inspire, it can heal, it can bring care, it can bring hope, it can bring all of those words that you guys put together. Thank you once again. This is really great. Practice those moves, because practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. Thank you so much, guys. See you later. Bye.
Wow, that was great. Take a second to catch your breath. Our next and final activity is Knowledge is Power by Beverley Brichet of the Black Spectrum Theater.
Hi everyone, my name is Beverley and I'm with Black Spectrum Theater. I hope you all can hear me. Wave if you can. Good. Well, we're going to start with Knowledge is Power. And the question is, but how much do we know about ourselves? It seems as if anger is a major problem with our society today. And that's what we're going to speak about. There are 6 different anger styles. And the question today is, which one is yours? In other words, when you get angry, do you do this? First word, suffers. These are conflict avoiders and people who deny their anger. Or are you a withdrawer? These are people who use passive aggressive or indirect means to express their anger. Or are you one of the triangulars? These are people who express their anger in manipulative ways. That would be an example of, say, a gossip. Or are you a blamer? These are people who are angry and they do something wrong, but they blame other people. You know, I only did it because he made me do it or she made me do it. Blamers. Or are you an exploder? These are people who use violence to express their anger. That's why I have a picture of a hammer. They hammer all of their issues. Or last but not least, are you a problem solver? These are people who admit what they have done wrong and they work to try and fix it or make things better for others around them. Now, it doesn't matter which one you are, and I say to my classes, I say, you know, be proud of who you are. But here's the thing, if you are a stuffer, it's like you're stuffing down a lit firecracker. Eventually, it's going to explode on the inside. So if you're a stuffer, you have to learn to be the type of person who knows that what you have to say is important and you deserve to be heard. Or are you a withdrawer? These are people that when you say to them, is anything wrong? They say, oh, nothing, 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 and they withdraw from it. But a week later, they hit you over the head for seemingly no reason at all because they haven't stood up for what they were angry about the day that it happened. So don't withdraw from it. Stand up to it when it happens and express yourself. Or are you a triangular? These are people who they want the whole world to know that you did something wrong and they're going to tell everybody about it. Don't be a gossip. Stand up for yourself. Say to the person that made you angry, you made me angry, and this is why. Or are you a blamer? Blamers. These are people, I did something wrong, but it's your fault. No, it's your fault. You did it. Or are you an exploder? These are people who you stepped on their toe and they shoot you for it. You don't want to be an exploder. That's too big a response for such a little deed. We all want to strive to be problem solvers. Strive to be a problem solver. Be inspired to be a problem solver. I think the world needs problem solvers, don't you? Knowledge is power. Now that you know, what are you going to do about it? That's all I have for you today. I'm Beverley from Black Spectrum Theater.
Knowledge is power. Thank you, Black Spectrum Theater. I'm sure you're all wondering, now what? Before you go, we want to show you a 60-second video that captures the heart of today's event that will hopefully encourage you to continue being kind and creative during these difficult times.
What if kindness goes viral?
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 What if a novel strain of corona kindness infected humankind during the quarantine?
What if we conquer corona because kindness beats the virus?
Before the quarantine, artist John Souza and Two Fly imagined with students how youth, parents, mentors, and artists might transform social distancing to create a more beautiful world together.
Shared trauma creates opportunities for shared healing.
Whether you identify as an artist or simply as human, the pandemic provides unique opportunities to connect with others creatively.
Help kindness go viral. Post drawings, thank yous, photos, videos, songs, whatever it is on social media. Tag at NYC Thrive and hashtag kindness beats the virus.
Let's bring art back to eradicate loneliness and isolation now and always. Ride or die.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for that. That was really awesome. I am so excited for this next segment. So here today we have Luna Velez, who has appeared on TV and movie screens as well as the Broadway stage. She has starred in hit shows such as Oz, Dexter, and Ugly Betty, and most recently has lent her voice to a favorite movie of mine, Into the Spider-Verse, as Rio Morales, Miles Morales' mom. We are so excited and grateful to have her at the festival. Thank you so much, Luna, for joining. Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Sure.
Hey, Erik, do you have something to say?
Sure, yeah, I'm sorry. It is a big honor for us to chat with you here today. It's very inspiring to hear your, we're gonna hear your story, sorry.
I want to tell you guys, this is really cool. Thank you for having me and inviting me. I'm inspired by everything I've been seeing. It's a wonderful reminder. You know, people think as adults you get inured to all this kind of stuff, but inspiration is something that never gets old. I don't know if I'm supposed to look at the camera up here. I don't know where to look. I'm like,
I think you can just, it's okay to just look at the screen. I think we're okay.
Just look at the screen. Okay, what just happened?
Okay. All right. Let me just, okay.
Also,
so
I go by Luna Lauren Velez. It used to be just Lauren, so it's Luna Lauren Velez. So it's less confusing to people now. I just added my middle name.
Okay, thank you, Luna Lauren Velez. I hear that you also graduated from public school in New York City after attending IS2 in the Rockaways. I actually attended PS201 Queens myself. And so can you offer us any wisdom today, especially to all the students who are also in public schools of New York City or have graduated public schools in New York City?
Well, you know, I mean, wisdom in terms of just the key to everything is just discipline, you know? Lots of people get and very.
Oh, Luna, you are muted, and I don't know.
How about now?
Okay. Yes, we can hear you now.
You hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Great. It's really it's such an opportunity. There's so much now.
Oh, not yet.
PS42, which is what it was called when I was going there, was a wonderful opportunity to learn. And we had arts at that point, you know? And actually it was the first time I saw one of my favorite paintings called Christina's World. So we had wonderful teachers, we had a wonderful student body, and people were curious. So if there's anything that you want to know, anything that you're curious about, stay curious, stay eager, keep learning, because the learning part is up to you guys, it's up to the students. You know, if your teachers aren't giving you what you need, if you feel that your class isn't pushing you the way you need to be pushed, then make sure you bring that to somebody's attention and get what you need. You have to be as active in your learning and going after your learning and receiving it, you know? So take education into your hands. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. Erik, did you have a question?
Sure. I mean, well, sorry. I like what you said about discipline and keep learning and keeping curious. It's very inspiring to hear your stories. Like many of us watching you graduating from a public school, can you share with us an experience about healing potential of the arts?
Sorry, it's a share about a what? Can you?
The healing potential of the arts.
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I was a ridiculously shy kid, like painfully shy. My first play was in PS42. And I played the groundhog. And I'll never forget because I was really mortified because I only had 2 lines. And I had to say that I was the groundhog and the kids laughed at me, you know, so much. But I had so much wonderful support from everyone. And it was really when I understood that I had a voice and that and a talent. And I found a place for it. And I found a place where I could be who I wanted to be, who I needed to be. We also had band, we had music. And for so many kids who actually are shy or might be having some issues at home, issues in the classroom, any kind of issues expressing themselves, the arts are such an incredible way, whatever medium it is, whether it's visual, whether you decide, whether you're singing, whether you're acting, whether you're dancing, watching Flexx. I just wanted to get, you know, I dig it up, okay? I got up and I did some of the moves. But even that is the feeling that he generated. I'm sure in a lot of people watching it, these are incredibly inspiring, beautiful things. Here we are in the middle of an incredibly tumultuous time in our lives, in history. And in these few moments, Flexx was able to bring joy, right? And get everyone away from thinking about what was going on. And that's what the arts does, right? At its best, at its fullest. When you see somebody, you know, creating a word, and this is what you can do with your name, all of that is incredible. It is healing, it's uplifting, it's inspiring, and it really is something that's coming out of your soul and that you decide to share, and at its best, it connects us, and it's an unspoken language.
Oh, I love that. And I totally relate. I actually got my start being in front of people by playing the Easter Bunny in PS2. Yeah. So I also used to be shy, so I totally relate to that. But thank you. That was a really that resonates with me. Can you share with us a little bit about your motivation as an artist? I see that you've taken a variety of roles, and I know that I mentioned Into the Spider-Verse, which has become especially important to us in Queens because, you know, Spider-Man you know, is a New York City hero, and now Miles Morales is a diverse hero with a really awesome parents. Yeah, but so can you tell us about why you do what you do and what motivates you to create art and inspire others?
You know, I'm lucky. I come from a family of artists. My mom was a singer when she got here from Puerto Rico. Art is something that we grew up with, and I have a great support system that believes that art is like breathing. It's like water. It's air, and I'm a believer of that as well. I think it's one of the most important things that we need as a society. You know, Jeremy Del Rio, when I first met him, one of the things he said was it's his mission to eradicate artless education. And I almost can't believe that there is education without the arts. It's bananas to me. Like, I don't even know where to put that, but I think what motivates me to do like this kind of stuff is that for me, it was the most natural thing. There was nothing that I had to do. There was no effort in it. It just existed. It's an extension of who I am, you know? So I was lucky in that way, and I was supported in that way. And that's why it's so important that anyone who has a voice continues to support and make sure that art continues to be part of an education, because it's not something I had to grapple with coming up. And for me, I was just motivated because it was something that was part of me. And again, I'll say I was lucky in the sense that I felt it was everywhere around me. And also I was very disciplined and I wanted it. Right now, I think it's a little trickier because it's seemingly easier, and it's seemingly, people think anybody can do it. And the truth is, talent is everywhere. Everybody I know is talented. The only difference between somebody really getting to make their livelihood from their talent is discipline and understand and accountability and responsibility. These are the things that are going to separate you from the millions of talented kids out there. So I feel for me, that's really that was my motivating factor. Success. Actually, one of my favorite quotes is from Warren Beatty, who says, you know, you've achieved success in your field when you can't tell the difference between work and play. And I think that that's true. And for me, it's always been that feeling. And I strive for that feeling. And once it starts feeling like it's, and I love to work hard. And working hard is something that you do for whatever you want to achieve. And my motivation is to always be doing what I love to do. So that's what motivates my choices. It's what motivates what I want. And it's what motivates me to move forward the way I do.
Oh, amazing. That's so inspiring. Thank you. Erik, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean, yeah, I'm agree with what you said. I think everything comes with discipline and yeah, yeah.
Cool. I have so, go ahead.
So I want to just say this, you know, Miles Morales, Spider-Man is maybe Into the Spider-Verse might be my all-time favorite thing. And I'll tell you why, because all it was using my voice, and your words, our words mean something more than people understand. You can tell how somebody feels about you by the sound of their voice. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you say, you're saying one thing, but I feel something else. So what I loved about the opportunity to do this role is it made me think about the words that I was saying and the words that I chose, and they chose for my character to say. Every second, there was no worrying about my hair or what I looked like. I was animated, who cares? It was a no-brainer, right? I didn't have to think about it. But what I did think about were the words that I had to choose to say. Some of them were chosen for me, some of them I got to improvise, but every word was very important. And I think that, especially at this moment, the words that we pick, the words that we put out there, the words that we say mean everything. So being mindful and being honest and clear is everything at this moment. So.
Yes, that's beautiful. Yes. I have so many questions. I want to ask you about your stage career, but I can't take up the stage too long.
Well, anytime you want to ask me these questions, you can ask me.
Thank you. I'm a huge comic book nerd, but I'm also a huge Broadway fan. But I will turn it to the kids. I have one question from one of our students, Chauncey, who is watching in Long Island, and he would like to know, what is your favorite movie and why? And did you think you were going to be famous as a kid?
I always knew I was going to be successful. Fame was the least of it for me because fame is fleeting. Success is, again, doing what you love all the time. And I always knew I was going to be successful. Fame is a nice little byproduct of it. But again, it doesn't really last. And the longevity, success is longevity. And my favorite movie, I have lots of favorites, but the one that always comes off the top of my head is The Verdict. And it's a Paul Newman movie. It's very old. It's not that old, but it's old. But the work is beautiful. It's really spectacular acting.
Awesome. And I have a question waiting in the wings from Eli in the audience. Eli, would you like to turn on your camera and your microphone and ask the question that you have, wherever you are?
Elijah Marina.
Hi, Miss Luna. My name is Elijah.
Elijah.
And my question is, what was your favorite part of playing Miles Morales' mom in the Spider-Verse movie?
My favorite part was when we were getting ready for breakfast in the morning. I don't know if you remember that. And she was trying to juggle her café con leche and trying to get Miles ready for school. Because, you know, sometimes it's hard to get those kids out the door. I think that was my favorite part.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Elijah.
It's a nice family moment in this superhero adventure film.
You know, you don't often see our culture represented like that, and representation matters, and that's something that every artist, everyone who's listening, create, write, draw, paint, dance. These are the things. Representation matters, and the only way to really get the representation out there is if we do it. Because no one is going to do it for us. And at this moment, there is this big open door. Jump in. Everybody jump in. So representation is everything. It matters. It matters. And our voices will be heard if we use them. So that's the most important thing. So it's incredible, and it's incumbent upon every single artist that is listening and every single artist who's listening to spread the word to all other artists that they know. It's up to us to make sure representation matters, and it's up to us to create the representation.
Yes, we want it to be true to ourselves, and you can see the diverse range of people even just sitting in this Zoom chat room. So thank you, Ms. Laura Luna Velez, for joining us. Erik, can you take us out?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Luna. It really means a lot to have you here speaking directly to our youth, in the city, you know. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Congratulations to all of you guys, and thank you for being part of it. Much success, mucho amor, mucho amor. Suerte, lo mejor de todo. Okay.
Muchas gracias, señor. Gracias.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to turn this back over. We're going to turn this back over to Randy and Ari. Thank you again, Luna. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, we're ready to go for the video. When you are, gang. Okay. So I apologize for that. It looks like we have, it's still on me. It's my pleasure to introduce NYC Council Majority Leader Laurie Cumbo, who is the architect for our program, Art, a Catalyst for Change.
Hi, I'm Majority Leader Laurie Cumbo, representing Fort Greene, Clinton Hill, Prospect Heights, Crown Heights, and parts of Bedford-Stuyvesant. And I just want to really start off by thanking everyone who participated in the Art as a Catalyst for Change program. This is such an important initiative, one that I created. I'm really inspired by that song. This may be a little bit before your time, but to the older heads out there, you'll remember that song, Last Night a DJ Saved My Life. And I always think about those words because it talks about how music has the power to inspire. Music has the power to save lives. Music has the power to get us through difficult times, to get us through that difficult night. And this is why this initiative was created and why it's so important. And for the young people, gun violence is a serious issue that continues to impact our community. And it's so important that You know, I believe that when we put art materials, a paintbrush, a book, a record, a camera into the hands of young people, it essentially means that we are taking a gun out of their hands. We are taking a knife out of their hands. We are pulling a needle out of their arm. When you give young people all of the tools that they need to be creative, to express themselves, then you will find in communities all across this country and this world that violence will end. And so it's important that we continue to put those resources into the hands of our youth. We so often tell our young people to say no to everything, but don't really give you the tools to say yes to. So the Art as a Catalyst for Change is an initiative to tell you, to give you, to provide you, to show you that we have opportunities here for you. And in the midst of all that's going on, 2 pandemics that we are experiencing, the pandemic of racism, the pandemic of COVID-19, I salute you. I applaud you for taking this opportunity not to give up, but continue to put a message out there, to continue to put a message of hope, of freedom, of inspiration, of ideas, of what comes next. I applaud all of the young people that have been a part of the movement, whether you are creating a PSA or you are creating a painting or drawing or photographing the movement. This is the most important and critical time in our nation's history, ripe with opportunity and ripe with the change that people have been demanding for centuries. So I thank you for being a part of that movement. Thank you for being a part of that change. Thank you for making your voice heard. You all are the most valuable and important thing in this world. You have ideas that we've never heard of. You have thoughts that we haven't even dreamed of. And so it's important for you to share your voice. God makes each of us individually different so that we would have different ideas and different voices. Continue to share your voice. Don't play small with anyone. You have an important message that has to be heard. So thank you. I congratulate you. This is historical, what you are doing today. You are a part of the movement of today, the Black Lives Matter movement. You are doing important work, critical work, and we thank you. Again, I'm your Majority Leader, Laurie Cumbo. You can be anything that you want to be in this world. Thank you.
We did it, virtual high five. Heartbeat Festival Online 2020 Art as Catalyst for Change. Thank you so much for participating. Now I'd like to introduce you guys to Jeremy Del Rio, the Executive Director at Thrive Collective.
On behalf of all of us at Thrive Collective, I want to say thank you to the visionary leaders of the New York City Council who understand the inherent power of art to bring change to our communities. At a time like this, especially when there are so many who are hurting from coronavirus, from gun violence, and also from systemic racism, you had the foresight to know that by equipping kids to see beyond their present circumstances, they could create worlds that don't yet exist. I especially want to thank the Speaker, Corey Johnson, the Majority Leader, Laurie Cumbo, and locally here in Queens, Donovan Richards, Adrienne Adams, and Jimmy Van Bramer. Without you, none of this is possible. I also want to thank the incredible hosts today, the Museum of the Moving Image. They've been a delight to work with these last number of years, along with each of the arts organizations who've contributed to today's event, to Black Spectrum Theater, to BRIC, to Everybody Dance Now, and to Projectivity, and to every one of the teaching artists who wake up every morning determined to empower kids to envision and create beauty that endures. We're so grateful for all that you do. Have a great summer, and we look forward to next school year.